The story of an international city told by its former inhabitants, number 53, year 2011, Don José Jorro Andreo, by Leopoldo Ceballos López. One of the main protagonists of International Tangier was Don José Jorro Andreo, originally from Calpe, Alicante. Although he was born in Oran in 1885, his father, Vicente Jorro Tour, had carried out great Hispanist work in that city, which was part of French Algeria, and created several companies, among which a tobacco factory stood out. This factory was bought in the early 20th century by the Mallorcan financier Juan March. He met the young José, whom he greatly appreciated for his intelligence, character, and work capacity, and appointed him general agent of his businesses in North Africa. Thus, José Jorro began his business activities in the region, especially in Morocco, traveling to various parts of the country, including Tangier, which he first visited in 1907. Over the next 2 decades, with the support and funding of Juan March, he created and developed several companies in the northern part of the kingdom, among which the petroleum company Atlas stands out. He also managed to transfer the tobacco monopoly of northern Morocco, which was being handled by the Régie de Tabac, back to Spain, ensuring that the corresponding taxes were paid to the Spanish protectorate and not the French one, as had been the case. Jorro was appointed director of this monopoly and later became its president, a position he held until 1960. The successes José Jorro achieved in his activities and the reorganization of the Transmediterranea Company, of which he was appointed advisor and delegate for the Strait in 1931, required him to travel frequently to Madrid, although he maintained his main residence in Tangier. There in 1942 he founded the International Trade and Navigation Company, Intercona S.A., based in the international city with branches in several Moroccan cities such as Casablanca and Nador, covering both French and Spanish protectorate zones. The company quickly became the representative and agent for the main shipping companies operating between Morocco, Spain, and Portugal, such as Transmediterranea, Compañía Ibarra, and the Portuguese Navigation Company. Intercona, today presided over by Vicente Jorro Sáenz de Rosas, Don José's grandson, still has its headquarters in Tangier and is likely the oldest shipping agency in Morocco. Thanks to Transmediterranea, Tangier has been connected by sea to the peninsula since 1919. All of us who lived in Tangier in the 1950s remember the magnificent ships Virgen de Africa, Ciudad de Tarifa, and Victoria, which connected Tangier with Algeciras and Ceuta daily. Additionally, under Jorro's direction, Transmediterranea greatly contributed to facilitating the annual pilgrimage of Muslims to Mecca. A Tangier milestone in which Intercona participated was the visit of the ship Ciudad de Toledo in 1956, which took a floating exhibition of Spanish products across North Africa and Hispanic America, having an indescribable success in Tangier. The exhibition was led by Fernando Sebastián de Eris, a highly esteemed diplomat in Tangier, where he had served for many years as commercial attaché in the Spanish consulate. In addition to his presence in the maritime sector as advisor to Transmediterranea and president of Intercona, José Jorro also developed other business activities, especially in the tobacco and petroleum sectors. He also carried out agricultural work on an estate in Alcázar-Quivir. Other Spanish businessmen in Tangier who recognized his work capacity and enthusiasm appointed him president of the Spanish Chamber of Commerce in 1948, a position he held until 1953, during which he carried out excellent work. Beyond his business activity, José Jorro Andreo had a brilliant public and social role in Tangier, especially during the golden years of the international city. Until the late 1950s, he was one of its most prominent personalities. From 1948 to 1955, for over 7 years, he was vice president of the Legislative Assembly, which, as the name implies, was the legislative body, or parliament of the international city. He presided over the Assembly's deliberations on several occasions. In that role, he worked as the Spanish representative during a period possibly marked by Tangier's greatest splendor, participating in important legislative initiatives for the city. Among these stands out, at the beginning of his term, his firm contribution to ensuring the peseta retained its legal tender status in Tangier, against the opinion of some sectors of the international administration. He also played a considerable role in the review of Tangier's statutory laws between 1952 and 1953, which restored Spain's leadership in the administration of the international city, a role that had been significantly reduced in 1945 when Spain ended its peaceful and positive occupation of Tangier. In his farewell address to the Assembly in November 1955, he expressed his love for Tangier and the principles that should guide its future. His significant activity was recognized by the Mendub and all members of the assembly. Socially, Jorro was a respected and well-liked man in Tangier, appreciated for both his kindness and integrity. He lived in a magnificent residence in the Monte, Sidi Amar, where he enjoyed a warm family life, surrounded by his sons Vicente and Fernando, who collaborated for many years in his business ventures, as do today his grandsons Vicente and Juan Carlos, all of them born in Tangier. He enjoyed hosting friends at his home, who asked him to preside over the International Yacht Club of Tangier, and later the Automobile Club of Spain in Morocco. Both Spain and Morocco recognized the undeniable worth of José Jorro and his important contribution to the development of the international city, granting him prestigious honors such as the crosses of the Orders of Civil Merit and Isabella the Catholic and the Imperial Order of the Medallia. He died in Madrid in 1977 at the age of 92. His remains lie in the crypt of the Church of La Concepción in Madrid, which had been destroyed during the Civil War and which José Jorro helped to rebuild. José Jorro Andreo considered himself a Tangerine and, at the forefront of business and public life, defended his city with passion, diplomacy, and skill, thus contributing to its development and the creation of wealth and well-being. It is fair not to forget his figure and to remember him in the pages of Tingis, which seeks to bear witness to and evoke the most distinguished Tangerines.